from London. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Oh, you
Good to
look
see you.
bright and fresh, which is good after everything you've been going through.
Had lots of sleep recovering from my accident.
Good. I know. I'm glad everything's okay.
Yes, yes. Recovering, yeah. Thanks.
Yes, I know. So we're on our third live now, and
Yeah.
today we're talking about powerful ways to improve my state of mental health. So um, just a little background about ourselves and our journey with mental health for our viewers today. Um, I lived for about 5 years of my life before I left the military with clinical depression. I didn't tell anybody about it. They know something was wrong with me, but I just didn't talk about it. And I ended up having a TIA stroke and ended up being in hospital for a week. Um, After all of that happened, I decided to um, take action, and I said, no, I don't want to live like this anymore. And one of the things that triggered me to take care of my mental health was one day I was sitting in my military house next to my bed crying, and my son, he was only about 10 months old, and he walked in and he got a tissue and wiped my tears. And
Oh,
that was when I was like, no, this is enough. I'm gonna come out of this state. Um, and then after about a couple of months later, I started doing therapy and stuff like that with a psychologist. But I noticed I started to get worse. I didn't actually get better. And I ended up having a TIA stroke, being off work.
oh,
I couldn't walk, couldn't speak. I was stuttering. And
right.
yeah, and that was a big turning point in me wanting to invest more in my mind and my mental health
Yeah.
than physically. So I'm Danielle, and Monica, how about you?
Wow. Yeah, that's such an interesting story, Danielle, and yeah, really, really inspiring.
Drama, drama, lots of
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I had anxiety from like a young age, like as a teenager, and then I think around 17 I discovered exercise, intense cardio exercise, running or swimming was my way out, and doing that every single morning was the way that got rid of my depression, anxiety that I had as a teenager. And then I just followed that every day and done it daily. And if I ever missed out on a day, sometimes for work, I might have a conference that starts early. For some reason, they like to start early, and I might miss the day of exercise, and I feel terrible, depressed, sad, low energy all day, mentally, health wise, not right. and Yeah, so I've always done that in the morning up until recently, obviously, when I had my running accident a week and a half ago. and so Yeah, so I have, but luckily I have learned some things over the last year and a half or last 2 years doing courses with Tony Robbins, and also with Danelle Delgado, Win on Repeat, which has actually saved my mental health by giving me other ways, to do it when I can't physically get my body into that state that exercise brings me. So yeah, so I've got lots of tips on those sort of things that I've learned from Tony Robbins and Danelle Delgado, other than my exercise that I've used. So and which I'm still having to do, because I actually on Thursday I did attempt a bit of Pilates and a little bit of lunges and squats, and yeah, and I ended up in hospital.
Mm.
Well, so yeah, I can't actually do anything for a whole week. So I'm doing these other techniques that I've learnt from which I'll go through some of those.
Amazing. And then,
Yeah,
no one talks, people talk about mental health, but I don't think they talk about it as openly as, um, I've experienced it, I've been near, I'm willing to help you. There's more of a cliche talk about mental health as in a way to get likes and follows and get people to
yeah,
buy your business, rather than people actually saying, hey, IKEA, here's how I'm going to help you. So we're actually going to help you today from our own experience and how we've overcome. So Monika, would you like to go first?
Yeah, basically, some things I learned from the Tony Robbins thing was like doing affirmations, and then if I got like low energy during the day, because if I exercised in the morning, if I got low energy during the day, he always said to get back into state by doing 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes of just something intense, so get up and dance and move around and that sort of thing. Oh, sorry, I'm getting back to the exercise way. I was going to get off the exercise way. And also he taught things like, affirmations, and my self-worth doesn't depend on what I perceive other people think of me, including my parents or whatever like that. It's all, my self-worth is, based on my values. And I can to consider every obstacle like a challenge, and to do something challenging, to make myself do something challenging and uncomfortable every day. I learned from this as well, and that increases like confidence, and as well by doing something uncomfortable every day, and just persisting like on until I succeed. So persisting and being consistent every day until I have a success, and then like celebrate as well. And so yeah, I learned to do something uncomfortable every day, and then from Danelle Delgado, I learnt, she's got this book, I Choose Joy, which is really good. It's like a journal, and it's basically about the 4 G's. So it's every day. So say if like I'm feeling like depressed because I can't exercise, I just get out her journal and do the 4 G's, which is gratitude. So write down 10 things that you're grateful every day. And when you're writing down things that you're grateful for, you just can't be sad or depressed. And then growth. So every day, read 10, read for about 30 minutes, something non-fictional. So that really like makes me feel better. So when I'm feeling really down, or 2 of the books that she recommended were 10 Ancient Scrolls by Mandino. So they're just really good, and you're supposed to read that every day, the same scroll every day. And like the one I read today, I will persist until I succeed. And and then Growth Mindset, Mindset by Carol Dweck, I think it's called, and it talks about growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And so Danelle Delgado recommended for us to read that in our course, and that is really, really good too. And Tim Storey, Miracle Mentality, I don't know if anyone's heard of that, but that all talks about, you can do anything, can be anything that you want. So it's really positive. So all those positive sort of books, positive mindset and motivational sort of books is really, really helpful way to go. So that's one tip.
There's so much wealth in learning from reading as well, and I avoided reading a lot of books until I was quite ill, because I thought it was boring. I just wanted to be out and running and doing stuff like that. But then now I feel like I can't start my day without reading for a little bit, or at least listening to a book, We're going to put all of the books that we mentioned today in the links in our in our program, and we'll be on YouTube as well, so you can find the links directly to the books there.
Yes.
Affirmations are a powerful one. I think affirmations was the first thing I tried when I wanted to leave my life of depression. And I would just lay on my floor and affirm certain things. And then I remember doing an affirmation, and it was, I am the expression of love. I am the physical expression of love. Because all of these feelings, all of these overwhelming experiences in our state of mental health bring about feelings of being unworthy, mostly of love. We feel like we don't deserve love, feeling unwanted. Like I've gone to parties and sat by myself the whole time and not spoken to anyone or been spoken to. And that brings about the feeling of, oh, I'm not wanted here, I'm not wanted there either. And I've also gone through stages where I felt like my family doesn't want me around, you know? And when I started seeing this pattern, the one course I went on that I will share with people, which I think is an amazing course, is called the Landmark Forum. And they are worldwide now. But it was the first time it is quite expensive. I'll put that out there because people might go and go, oh, but I tell you what, the way I was living my life, I didn't care how much it costs. I wanted to get out of that state of depression. I didn't care how much it cost. And I went there, and that was the first time I discovered that I was creating my own reality. And I was responsible for the way I was perceiving things. And it was a shock to my system because I was like, okay, that's hard to hear, but if I actually look at it and listen to what they're saying, it is true. Because logically, all those things that happened to me, they weren't the way I perceived them to be.
Yes.
I had my idea about it, but the truth about it was probably completely different. And that was the first time I stepped out of this very illogical and irrational, emotional way of thinking and started to look at other things in my life, which led on to me meeting my husband. And that's when I finally realized the power I had within. And the thing about it is we all have a mind that not many of us are aware of its potential until we go through a state of mental health that isn't very pleasant. Like I can honestly say that if I didn't go through depression, I wouldn't have discovered what my mind is capable of until now. Like you talk about being persistent and consistent until something manifests, until you succeed. And Tony Robbins is quite big on manifesting and being persistent towards a goal, you know. I think that a lot of us are feeling unwanted, unloved because of stuff that's happened to us, and we really want to get out of that state, and we just don't know how. So I'll give you 3 things I did in my life that really, really changed how I was being influenced. Because a state of mental health is influenced onto us, you know. And one of the things I gave up was watching mainstream media, such as the TV. So I gave that, and you will laugh, I was just about to join the army. I was living in Portsmouth in my auntie's house, and I was having lunch and I was watching the news, and it was so much, and then I found myself shouting at the TV saying, why are you lying? That's not the truth. Because I'm a bit of a research geek. I don't just take what people tell me. I'll go and like look at everything. And I was shouting at the TV, and then I was like, this guy can't even hear me. I'm angry. And from that day on, I never watched mainstream media TV ever again. I stopped watching it, and my life never been so nice, you know. Another thing I don't do is read the newspapers. And if I do, I'll read the business section. I'll get to what, and when it comes to social media, I don't follow or give my energy to mainstream media content. And the 3 reasons why I say that is because if you feel that you are susceptible to believe in it without actually asking the question if it is the truth, then you should stay away from actually interacting in it. And at that time, I saw that I was vulnerable. I was very easily influenced to be angry or to be sad or to be happy by those mainstream media things coming at me. and it was making an impact on my mental health. I wanted to change the world. I believed in conspiracy theories. I was like, the government hates us, this is happening, that is it. And then I realized, whoa, hang on here. I can't actually change any of that by myself. But then when I started researching a little bit and learning about my perception, I was like, actually, I'm wrong here. I had to put my hands, and a lot of people won't agree with this, but this is my own perception. And those were the three main things I gave up on, was any form of mainstream media. If it came about and I had to research it, like the COVID pandemic was a worldwide impact thing. It impacted my business, it impacted my family. So I had to research it. It's different. You have to research these things. But if you feel like you don't have the time or the capacity to research these things, give them up. That's my main tip for the day. Mainstream media, gotta go. Monika, you got any more tips for us?
Yeah, I love it. I don't watch TV as well. I mean, I find so many other things that I've got to do. I'm never bored. I've always got 1 million things I've got to do. And when I said the 4Gs, growth was another one. Oh, that's right, about reading and educating myself. So I'm always doing courses on Instagram marketing, Facebook marketing, courses, all these business courses. I'll probably be doing 4 or 5 courses all at once. So you haven't watched TV for, I don't know, like 8 years or something. Just no time, no interest. And if I read a book, it's obviously non-fiction and for personal development or business sort of thing. So that growth. Another one is with the 4Gs, growth, and goals was another one. So setting goals by writing them down, and the personal goals, fitness goals, health goals, and sort of social goals, like how much time you're going to spend with family and friends and those sort of things, and what you have to give up in order to achieve those goals, and who you have to surround yourself with to achieve those goals. And so you're writing them down and then visualizing them as well, visualizing those goals by writing them down and trying to visualize them to get to those goals, and doing something daily. So every day I always try and do a reel or a post or something on social media every day. And our grace was another thing on Danelle Delgado's book, I Choose Joy, which I'll put in the link after. It was, so grace means so if you're having, if in life you're focusing on something like negative, someone said something hurtful to you, and if you focus on that negative thing that makes you feel sad or hurt, that's like negative energy, and then that takes away from what you're focused on, what your goals are, and it might make you feel a bit sad, and then you won't give out that good energy, and then the law of attraction will work against you, because if you're not giving out good energy. So grace just means if someone says something hurtful to you, just to let it go. You just let it go, and you forgive that person, whether or not you forgive them directly by saying it, but just in your head, in your heart, to forgive them and send love to them. And that way you can release it and go on and do positive things. So I learned that from Danelle Delgado. I'd never had learned that before, and wow, that's really good, because that just anytime, sometimes someone hasn't texted you back, you're like, oh no, they haven't texted me back, and worry. It used to be like that. Since I've done her Win on Repeat course, I've never worried about, has that person texted me back, or not. I just don't worry about it. It's like, just let it go. There could be a million reasons why they haven't texted me back, and people are busy, and goals, growth, gratitude, and grace. Yes, grace means just letting it go, or forgiving and giving love, and also turning your pain, if you've got pain, to turn that into something positive. So the other night when I was in hospital, we had to wait because it was the weekend, for about 8 hours, and But I had a lot of pain, but I had been given pain relief. But I could see this lady, she was in a lot of pain, and her friend said she can't take pain relief because of her medical condition. She was in so much pain. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go over and have a really good conversation with this lady to try and distract her, because she can't have any painkillers. And I want to distract her to take her out of her pain. And so I went over, this is like 3 o'clock in the morning, and had an hour chat to her, and she totally forgot about her pain, had a great chat, and so it was really good. So I turned my pain into helping someone else. So if you can turn your pain into something positive, then that's a good way to get rid of any pain or negative feelings.
Oh, Monika, I'm always inspired by all your stories of you supporting people in your community and you're helping people, like you say, when we're living in this state of pain, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical, some of us can feel like we're alone, rather than actually going out our way to actually make a difference. Because sometimes the soul just desires to help someone, and sometimes that is where we get all our pleasure from. Sometimes that is our purpose.
Helping people, it makes you feel so happy, and there's nothing that makes you more happier than giving to someone, or helping someone, sending out an encouraging message. It just makes you feel wonderful, like. So
exactly. And if we was meant to be alone, we would not be 8 billion people in the world. I always say this, and we're meant to do it together. I don't care what anybody says. This whole rat race mentality, and which is, you mentioned it as well, who you surround yourself with. People you surround yourself with, if they're always complaining and they're always negative, if you say something and they always got a but and come back with something that's very negative, sometimes you can still have that person in your life if you want to. But be watchful over your mind of how that person is influencing you. If you find that you're meeting with a certain person and they make you feel a certain way about yourself after you meet them, you need to realize that that person isn't being beneficial to your state of mental health. They might be keeping you in a state of depression or anxiety. And I realize this when I go around certain people, and if they bring about certain emotions for me, I'm like, oh, I still haven't changed my perception on that person yet, because they still make me feel this way. And, but that is something that we all have to do personally, is take action on wanting to read that book. And I always say, if the mental pain, if the spiritual pain, if that desire is big enough within us, we will pay anything. We will read as many books as possible. We will stay awake at night to get rid of it. But we have to want it. And I think desire is a very powerful way to improve your state of mental health. Do I really have the desire to move away from my pain? And most people will. I know I did. And some people won't. They won't be ready yet. And that's okay as well, because we all take a different stride, really. But you've heard it firsthand what Monika is going through, massive trial now. And I know she's got to overcome.
Yeah, the major problem is I'm addicted to exercise, and probably most people know that. And like, as soon as I start to get better, like tomorrow I might feel a bit better, and then by Wednesday I'm going to be wanting to go for a walk and and do some exercises, but I'm not allowed to because that landed me in hospital last time.
Yes.
So I have to rest for a week, and it's just so hard because it's a burning addiction to me. So I have to pick up a book and then just read the book and do that. That's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Monika. I would love to stay longer and continue this conversation. Maybe we could do part 2 next week. It's a very busy day here in London. So thank you so much, everybody. We're going to have all the links to the books that we mentioned today
Yeah, in the comments, yeah.
And we're gonna, if you want to connect with Monika, connect with her on Instagram. She's got amazing content. She's very supportive. Reach out if you'd like to. Monika, would you like to say bye?
Bye. Have a great day, Danielle.
Thanks,
And everyone,
everybody.
thank you for joining us, everyone. See you next week. Bye. Bye.